Hey, welcome to my KYA Coaches Training Clinic. I'm Coach Parker with CoachParker.org. I've been coaching at KYA since about 2009, and a few years ago they asked me to develop their internal coaches training for new and rookie coaches to KYA. So this is a presentation that myself and some other coaches have been giving KYA coaches for about 3 or 4 years now each season, and I think it's worked out for our group to educate our new and some of our returning and also the rookie coaches into KYA how to be better coaches and where to go to get information. So welcome, and we've got probably 10 to 12 video blog episodes that we'll put into this. I hope you enjoy it. If you do, please like us below, make some comments, and please share also. Hey, so like I said, welcome. I'm Coach Parker. We always want to play for fun, but we all know winning is a little funner, right? So you can see here, this is one of my Warhawks team on a beautiful Saturday Night Lights here, scoring a touchdown. So let's just move on. Next slide here. Youth football, you can gain a lifetime of memories. I actually played as a youth football player. I started in third grade and have very, very fond memories. But it's interesting. Coach Caesar is a nationally recognized youth football coach and author, and has a book out and videos, and it's very interesting to me, because I see this myself, that basically most of the coaches you're going to coach against, their egos are too big, or they're too stubborn, or just downright lazy to figure out how to get better. And really, their players are suffering because they don't really commit to coaching the team, and so they're just going to remember their youth football experience as being bad. Look, I know a lot of us, we say, let's give 110%, but what really hurts the team is when the coach is asking the players to give 110%, and then they're really only giving 80%, and that's really a formula to lose. And I see it all the time. Coaches, I try to give them some advice over my 20 plus year seasons of what they probably should do, and they think they know better, just like I did, and they start out with a losing season, and then they start asking some more questions and get better there at the end. So make sure you're giving 110% to your team, so they have a chance with some nice memories and not just bad ones. So everybody's asking, well, who am I? Well, I'm Coach Steve Parker. I grew up I was born here in Fort Worth. I grew up in Houston, went to college at Texas A&M. And I started coaching before I had kids. I started coaching in 1994, right after I got married, with a high school friend of mine, a guy that I worked with, and a coach that was with Plano Sports Authority who knew really nothing about coaching, but he had a stud son running back and wanted to coach a team, and a friend of mine from work, Chip, got us hooked up with him, and we had a fantastic season that year, and won coaching staff of the year, and totally I was hooked from that point on. Since I've been coaching youth football and youth sports off and on since 1994. In my youth football, both tackle, flag, and 7-on-7, I have close to a 70% winning percentage. I've made the playoffs in tackle all but 3 or 4 seasons, and 2 of those were seasons where I picked up a team at the last minute to help the league out. So my goal has always been to get to the playoffs. I did play 10 years seasons in Houston, Texas. I started playing at the Spring Branch YMCA Dads Club for a select football team, the Bulldogs, coached by John Lewis. Then I went on to play junior high football at 2 different junior highs, and then also played at Klein Forest High School in Houston, which at the time was a 5A high school team. My specialty is defense. I was a defensive player, defensive linebacker, outside linebacker, defensive end, and I played offensive line pretty much my entire youth football career. A little thing about me is I have played in game 14 of the 22 offense and defense positions at one time. So I do have experience quite a bit on both sides of the ball and understand football very well, and definitely youth football. I really feel like the foundation of coaching is really organization. Anybody really can be a decent coach if they're committed, have some passion, and they're organized. And that really, as you can see, George Allen here, a Hall of Fame coach from the Washington Redskins and NFL, he also says the same thing. I mean, really, if you're organized and you understand the game, you can be a pretty good coach. And that's the same at the youth level. It's really about organizing your practices, your parents, your coaches, your team, and getting them ready for the games. And I find that a lot of coaches that do not have winning records are not very organized, both in their personal and work life, and definitely not on the youth football field. So what does it take to win at KYA, or possibly in your football league? Like I said before, organization. I mean, you have to be organized. Practice plans, goals, strategy. Being a head coach you're quite like running a small business. You've got, almost 20 to 22 players plus their parents, coaching staff of 5 or so. You've got a lot of people, and all of those need to be communicated and organized. And that brings us to the second point. I mean, you've got to be a good communicator. Now, you've got to be a good communicator, not only with your team, but also with the league, so you are updated on all the communications from the league about rules and games and practices and all of that stuff. So organization or communication are definitely a big thing. Number 3 is really focused on KYA quite a bit, and it's a freeze strategy or a recruiting strategy on which players to keep from season to season. And KYA has up to 6 players that a veteran coach that's in the same division can keep when they go from season to season. So really, it's your recruiting and freeze strategy is kind of number 3. That's a big thing to winning in KYA. 4th is you've got to choose experienced coaches and the right coaches that believe in you and your philosophy on what you're trying to do as a youth football coach. You can't do well when coaches are on the field and really don't believe in what you're trying to accomplish. I know I've picked up some teams recently to help the league out and didn't have time to pick my assistant coaches really well, and that's hurt. And here this season, I've gotten back with a guy that I've coached with for 5 or 6 years, and we're currently undefeated and just going right down the schedule right there with ease. And it makes a huge difference to pick the right assistant coaches. The other thing is player evaluations at grass drills, which is a KYA kind of tryout field day kind of thing. But that also gets back to recruiting. A coach has to be good at evaluating players. That's a must. You've got to understand where they're going to fit within your system. If they're physically right, if they're IQ football right, if their parents are good parents and get to practice. Those are kind of key things that you need to look at. The other thing that's kind of unique to KYA is the draft. You've got to be good at knowing how to draft players in the draft, which is similar to an NFL draft. So you've got to be really good at that, and that's keys to winning in the KYA. The other thing, and it kind of goes with player evaluations, is once you get these kids on your team, you've got to be good at learning how to put these players in the best position for the team, not their dad, not their uncle or mom, but what is the best benefit for the team. They may not be the best quarterback for the team because you don't have a tailback and that kid's the best athlete. So you get a manager quarterback that can hand off to your great athlete whose dad may want him to play quarterback, but unfortunately that doesn't really work for your team. So you have to be really good at putting players in the right position for your team and to win. The other thing is you have to be good with holding a parent meeting and parent communication. And that really comes back to this whole organization thing. You have to understand that you can't put your head in the ground like an ostrich and not talk to the parents and communicate to them proactively. Not communicating proactively and hiding from them is not working. You also need to make sure you've got a team calendar, team website, Twitter, Facebook, whatever you're using. Those communication tools, you should be using those to communicate with your team. The other thing is scouting. I found not only within KYA, but scouting the opposing team and also your team for weaknesses is a huge deal and helps you improve. Scouting is a big deal, and a lot of coaches don't do that, and it is a way to lose a lot of games by not scouting the other teams. And then 10, as you can see, the actual coaching of the youth fundamentals is last year kind of the key to the winning. There's a lot of things that have to occur before you even get the team on the field, and a lot of rookie coaches forget that. There needs to be a lot of preparation and organization and planning and strategy before you even get on the field to coach. And I see a lot of coaches, all they want to do is coach football and coach tackling and blocking, and really most of them just want to coach their running backs, and that's a scenario for disappointment because there's usually 10 or 12 linemen that you have to learn to coach. But look, you've got to understand that there's a lot of prep and organization that goes into coaching a football team, and it's not just about getting on the practice field and coaching some running backs. Let's move on. What do all good coaches need? Well, definitely a patient wife. There's a lot of time you're going to put in, and the loyal dog, that's kind of a joke, and a great quarterback. Yeah, I agree. Your wife needs to be very patient with you as a head coach, especially if you geek out like some of my friends have in youth football coaching. We spend a lot of time. I've given up racquetball and golf, and now youth football coaching is my number one hobby. The other thing, in youth football, it's nice to have a great quarterback, but you don't really need one. But who doesn't want a great quarterback and a loyal dog, right? What do rookie head coaches need, really? I think you need time. You need time for experience and to get better. Like a fine wine, coaches kind of age well with time. Your first season, you need to understand that it's probably not going to go the way you think it's going to go. Now, you may get lucky, but it really takes time for rookie coaches to get into KYA and a lot of other leagues and start to have a winning team. One, you're trying to recruit players, you're trying to understand the system, you're just trying to learn what's going on. So time is what a good rookie coach need. If you're a rookie coach, definitely look for other coaches that have coached within KYA and see if you can't get a good experienced coach to be your assistant head coach. or offense coordinator, defensive coordinator, they will help you out a ton. They'll already know the league. They can help you get involved. And I think this is probably the case for any rookie coach in any league. And yet, every coach needs a little luck. Ball bouncing right back up to your running back on a fumble for a touchdown. I mean, who doesn't like some luck there? And, lastly, I think you need more time. I mean, just like a rookie player needs a season or two to kind of become that veteran player, a head coach also needs, 2 or 3 seasons there to become that veteran coach and understand all the ins and outs of coaching. So don't beat yourself up the first season. Give yourself a couple of seasons to learn what you've got to learn, and study. A way to speed this process up is by studying. You can go to my website, coachparker.org, which has a lot of information. I know if you're a KYA coach, we have a coaches forum there that you can go to and get a lot of information that I've posted there. So if you study and ask questions of other experienced coaches, you can speed up the time it takes to become a veteran coach and start winning and be successful within KYA and your football league. Bear Bryant's 3 coaching rules, and I highly agree with this. You need to surround yourself with people that love football. The coaching staff that I'm on now, none of us have kids on the team. The 3 main coaches, and I think one does, but he's coached for many, many seasons. But the 3 main coaches, we have no sons on the team anymore. We really love the sport. It is our hobby. So we eat and breathe football. You need to recognize winners. I mean, winners have the passion, and they, are very competitive. You want to choose and recruit those type of players and coaches, and surround yourself with those folks. And thirdly, I agree, it comes back to organization. You need to have a plan for everything. What is the saying? If you don't have a plan, you've planned to fail. That is your plan. And I totally agree with that. And even Bear Bryant, the Hall of Fame college coach from Alabama, thinks the exact same thing. You need to have a plan for everything. One of the things that you've got to ask yourself, because coaching is kind of a thankless job, is why do you want to coach? And it can't be because you just want to coach your son, because there's a lot more headaches that go along with coaching than just wanting to coach your son. You better have that passion to coach youth football, because there's a lot of coaches out there that their sons have graduated from the youth league and they're still coaching, and they've got this high intensity passion to coach. And so, volunteer. It's a headache, I can tell you. There's parents complaining, league official issues. Players are not going to be as smart, or they're going to be smart and just not want to listen to what you're saying, so they're not going to learn anything. You got people not showing up for games or practices. There's always somebody late for the game. You're going to have a team mom revolt who revolts the whole team on you. Your assistant coach, I've had, gets upset that you're not playing his son a quarterback. Your wife gets mad because you're not home, and then your boss doesn't understand why you've got 300 Xerox pages of playbooks and you're walking out the door at 3:30 to go to your practice. These are all kind of little things that you're going to have to learn to put up with. And so you've really got to decide, why do you want to coach? What is the driving force, and make sure that you're going to put the 110% effort in to coach youth football. Yeah, so really you've got to decide, why do you want to coach? Is it a passion from when you were in high school? Passion that you want to coach your son? You just love coaching? You've really got to decide, and I believe personally that it has to be more than you just want to coach your son. Well, this is the conclusion of the first video in the coaching clinic series. I want to thank you for joining me. We'll have another video coming out within a few days. If you like this video, please like us below, submit a comment. It really helps out the channel. And share the video if you get a chance. Again, it's Coach Parker with CoachParker.org. And remember to play for fun, and winning is funner. Thanks. Have a great day.